Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for clicking on my channel. All right. I wanted to be able to talk to you about this TV show that I watched on Netflix. It's called Quantico. All right. Now, for starters, I absolutely love the show. I think that it's, very well done. It had very good acting into it. These are my pros, by the way. There are a few cons that I have, but there is some good acting into it. Very good dual storylines. They have what's happening in the present, and they always refer to something back, what happened at Quantico. So at first I thought that was going to be kind of annoying, but now it all makes sense about how they always go back to hey, what can I learn from what happened in the past and stuff. So I mean, I really did think that that was very well done. Okay. um they had some good strong characters. I mean, it also really taught me that every single character that's in the show, it the show could have followed any one of the characters and it would have been just as strong as Alex Parrish. I think that that was very well done too. And every single time these two characters they have an argument with each other, they they both bring up valid opinions. I mean, they both have this thing to where you know they would be able to tell their side of the story. A male would be able to tell their side of the story, a female or male. And I mean, they would be legitimate arguments. You're just like, well, I could go with either one of them. So I thought that that was very well done. um, in the show, this is like a big plus for me, and I really felt that this hit on a personal note. Okay. um, at first I was focusing on the main character, Alex Parrish, the woman who's playing Alex Parrish. At first I wasn't even going to attempt her name, but I've been practicing it a while. I think her name's Priyanka Chopra. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm sorry if I'm not. Um, at first when I seen her, I was like, I absolutely think that she's beautiful. She's totally cool, 100%. And not only that, her character. I love the smartness of her. Her absolute ability to be up against all odds and overcome them. So I thought that was really cool about the character. But I don't know the actual person. The only thing I know about her is that I think the reason why I was mostly drawn to her is because I was looking up on the cast, on the internet and everything, and I noticed that she had the same exact birthday as me, even the birth year. So I was like, wow, that's totally cool. But afterwards, I started looking into all the other characters, and I realized, that every one of them, even the males, they're what women would consider to be attractive. All the females are beautiful, strong, and sexy, and very clever too. Every single one of them. Any one of them could be a leader. Matter of fact, I think there is an episode on there of where they actually do say that. Any one of you guys could be a leader. Any FBI agency, any chapter would be lucky to have any one of you. So I think they're really doing that. But the message that I really liked about the whole show, about that being there, was that if everybody in the show is sexy, beautiful, strong, and clever, then everybody in the world is, in their own way, beautiful, strong, sexy, and clever. Okay, in their own way. So I really felt that was a good message, and I mean, it's something good to send out to the world, because when everybody's beautiful, nobody is, and when nobody is, everybody's even. So there's not one person, you know, like rising above the rest. So that's when uh, Priyanka's beauty for me, in my personal opinion, her beauty, kind of, went even, with everybody else, and that's where personality, really takes over for me. So it's what's on the inside of the heart really comes out. Uh, Having said that, let me jump over to the cons that I really really did. As I was just talking about, I think there was a few episodes, maybe at least a little bit over the quarter, maybe over a majority of the season actually, where they kind of relied on Alex Parrish, Priyanka, her portrayal of her, of being this hot, sexy woman, and like I said, for me personally, uh, beauty's only skin deep, so I mean, what happens, through your heart, through your personality, through your intelligence. Whenever I see that with somebody, with anybody, that makes me be more attracted to you. I mean, because I've met people before, that is beautiful, but they are ugly inside. And I don't want to get too much off the subject here, but I think that's one of the messages that the show's trying to send to everybody, is saying that no, you can be beautiful, you can be sexy, and this one right here, they had like a lot of scenes where Alex Parrish is coming out in you know out of the shower and towel and underwear, having a shower scene, having sex with other guys, and instead of giving that indication, So I felt that was a little bit, off to the side, you know, uh, totally for the character. All right, and when they do that, they're kind of backpedaling on, what I got from the message was, is that everybody can be sexy, smart, and clever. It doesn't have to be, just this one person, and you don't really see too many other people getting, you know, uh, shower scenes or sex scenes or anything like that. Not too many of them. There is a few other ones, but I think they're just trying to make it all even out and everything. And I totally understand. No big deal. But that's just my personal take on it. Okay. The other problem that I had with it is that it was kind of predictable at times. When they revealed the villain. And I think it was like the second to the end. They revealed the villain to it, and at first, I was pinpointing the character, and I was just like, well, that person might be a little bit shisty. I'm trying my best not to have any spoilers for you guys. That person might be a little bit shisty. It's like he's hiding something a little bit more. And then like later on, you're just like, okay, that person's the voice. Or that person could be, and I really enjoyed that, so I'm not going to beat him up too much about that because, it is supposed to be predictable and you are supposed to leave clues there. But, I did figure out, like when people were going to die, sometimes what they were going to say, how they were going to do it. But, other than that, I think that, they did a pretty good job at keeping things under wraps. Um, I'd have to say about this is like a big chunk, this is like 10% out of that 15% that I was talking about. You know, like I said, I liked 85% of the show, but this is about 10% of it. Is that I'd have to say like the last maybe 8 episodes of the series or of the first season, it kind of felt like Scream with FBI agents, and I mean, they built up all this season about FBI being the top of the line. They have to know what they're doing. They know their stuff. And then when you look at the characters of the movie Scream, the first one, it was high schoolers. So when you see that, they have such a high standard for FBI's. And then what I mean by Scream is that it was jumping all over the place, and they're like saying that person's the voice, no, that person's the voice, no, that person's the voice, no, that person, him, her, and it just kept on going around in a circle. And I mean, I think the message is really trying to say there, like even FBI agents get spooked, or they don't know what to do. I mean, it's fine. It was serviceable. Like I said, these things ain't really the big problem or anything like that. But all this is just personal for me, okay? And another thing that I was saying too is that they kind of it was kind of anticlimactic. You know, I don't want to say anticlimactic, but on the on the same side, it is okay. On parts that I should have been crying, all right, but I wasn't. Okay, and there was parts earlier in the series that I did feel that emotion. There was a part where Alex Chase was crying and she was knocking on Ryan Booth's door, and she was just like feeling all this emotion, and she was just like hysterical, and I really felt that from her too. I was like, wow, that's really good right there. So I'm like, why couldn't they do that at the end, and there is a character that sacrifices themselves, to save everybody. I'm not going to tell you how or why or anything like that. I hope that ain't a spoiler for you, but you know, there is a part in there where they're just exchanging words, over the phone, and they know what's coming, and everybody's crying on the show, and the characters crying too. And I mean, I really felt, like I should be, more emotionally invested in this right now. I should be crying along with them, but it wasn't. One of the examples I wanted to bring up was from the movie The Green Mile. I mean, you really feel that emotion because you spent so much time, connecting with the character John Coffey. He's crying, you're crying, everybody's crying. In the TV show Heroes, and it can be done on TV too. And there was the cheerleader. Um, I forget the character's name too, but there was this part there where her dad like sacrificed himself, and it wasn't for death, but it was like her memory, and they were thinking to themselves that they couldn't really see each other ever again. So she's crying and everything, and the the emotion and the the emotion, the music, the situation itself, I mean, you really, really felt it. Okay. So I mean, people cannot say that they should have had that type of emotional connection for the end of the character. I did feel it a little bit at the end, but it wasn't as powerful as I wanted to. And like I said, once again, this is all personal stuff. Okay. Um, Now the people that stole the show for me is the character Simon and um, the woman's name, the twins. Yasmin. I'm not going to even attempt her last name. Sorry, Missouri. um, you know, I think they stole the show. I think that they had more to do. I think that they had more to conquer. And I really do love these two characters. And there was even a few moments where I was looking at Yasmin, and I saw her, and it was literally in that same episode, and I was like, man, she looks more better than the the star of the show. She is absolutely just beautiful, man. Look at her. So I mean, I was absolutely enthralled by that because like over time, these two characters, the character Simon and um, the person that played the two twins, they both did an absolutely wonderful job, and over time, they won me over. So, overall, I think it's a great show. I don't know how they're going to top this first season because this was pretty high up, man. It was just high intensity, and I absolutely love the show. I love the acting. I love all the actors in here.